Hi guys, it's Karen, and it is Friday afternoon, actually early evening, and I finished my July Just Junk Journal challenge from Dear Julie, and I'll put a link for that below. But I'm here to do the flip through of my journal, and um, the details video will be below if you want to know exactly what we had to have and use, you'll find it in that video. Or you can go to our Facebook page and see each individual um, element. But I started with a recipe book. I bought it a long time ago at Goodwill because I loved the colors in it, and I'm a pink fanatic, and I liked the fact that the pages, they were all empty, and well, they're not now, but they were. Let's see if I got a page over here. But anyways, I liked it because I liked the pages and I loved the cover. And then after I got it, I thought, oh, I don't know what I'll ever do with it. And it's kind of in my way. So this month I decided, okay, I'm going to use that. And what I decided, now that the challenge is over, I love it. This one I will be keeping for myself. Um, so anyways, I started with the recipe book for for my starters. It does have a hard cover. It's 4-ring binder. I've never done a binder before either, so that was kind of interesting. It wasn't exactly hard, but there were things I had some issues that I had to correct because I've never done one. I just didn't think before I did sometimes. But on the outside, it was this color, and of course it had pink writing on it about being a recipe book. And I took one of my calendars. I took the front off of one of my calendars, and I cut this part off, and then the trim from this end of the calendar page, put it together, and came up with my cover. And the back of it, um, I had a little place here, so I covered it with white, added a butterfly off of my calendar, and to cover up the little bend in the book here, I put in a pocket in the back with white. My tassel is made of my jewelry piece that I did struggle with. Um, I didn't know what I had that I could split 3 ways and make something with and still have it match the colors of my book. And then, thank goodness for grandchildren. And then I found this lei. It had 4 different pastel colors in it. It's got beads and butterflies and string. Okay, so that's what I made my tassel out of. For my metal pieces, I did use one of the Tim Holtz ring fasteners and 2, um, a medium and a smaller, um, what are them things called? Jump rings. So it is on there semi-permanently. You can take it off if you want to, but I like it. It's going to stay on there. I did keep 2 of the 6 divider cards, mostly so that when um, I'm trying to get all the way to the end, it's just easier to pick up those back pages with the tab than it is without it, and that way I don't take a chance on ripping my pages. Same thing up here. If I'm back here somewhere and I want to go to the front, it's easier to grab that tab, and I don't take a chance on ripping pages. Inside, we had to have a lot of stamping and stenciling. That's what I did to decorate my pages. We got butterflies stamped here. I used 2 calendars. One was the calendar we were allowed, and then we were allowed 5 extra items. My extra item, and I only used one of those. It was called the Heavens, and it was inspirational calendar that I used to cut up and make other other things out of it. Let's see. And I think that's all that really matters. I did use a magazine, one book, this book, one linen. I used a pillowcase, and I have quite a bit of it left here. And let's see. My piece of jewelry was the lei. I did use a gift bag. I used part of it, not all of it. I did use this calendar, which was a National Children's Cancer Society Garden Inspirations calendar, and then the other calendar. I did use a napkin. It had, um, yeah, it had fuchsia flowers on it with a bird and some other little bitty pink flowers. It was real pretty. And I showed you the metal items that I did use. I did use some old book pages, mostly old Bible pages. I have an old Bible that fell apart, old family Bible, and so now I'm deconstructing it and using the pages out of it. And so that's what I've used mostly for my book pages. I think one other one is just out of another book. We were allowed unlimited envelopes. I chose, um, I had these that were used. My daughter, these were the invitations that my daughter used for my surprise 60th birthday party. And I did use envelopes, some of the envelopes from them. Let's see. And then I had some white envelopes with pink trim on them. My 8 papers I used were just out of a journal, and I cut them in half and put holes in them, and that gave me some pages to write on. Um, I did end up with all the needed elements. For my tools, I used one pair of scissors, one paper cutter, one ruler, one writing pen. I did use my stamps, rubber stamps, stencils, stamp pads with, yeah, blending. Actually, I used this blending brush is what I used for my stenciling. I did not do a lot of distressing on the edges, and I think the one time I did, I used the actual stamp pad. I did use a couple of punches. I used my crocodile hole punch, and I also used my corner rounder punch, 1/2 inch corner rounder punch, and I also used my circle punch. Um, and I don't know, I'd say it's probably an inch. I used my circle punch. I used glues, a couple of different kinds. I used Fiber Tack glue sticks and Eileen's tacky glue. Um, Depending on what I was gluing and how long I thought it would last and what I could stand to smell. Anyways, so let's get into the journal, and I'll just do the flip through. So here is a calendar spread, and it was glued to the pages that made pockets on either end. Here I have a candy wrapper that my daughter sent over. I don't know if the kids gave it to her or she gave it to one of the kids or whatever, but I took the box, cut it up, and then I took my Bible, and I just had not used the page for John 3:16 and 17, and they fit perfectly in the little cross here. So that I've got the Bible page showing through, and there's a tape covering on it, and then I used two of the pink butterflies off of the lei. And in I'm going to try to put this back as I go, because if I don't, I'll never remember where it goes, and I kind of like where this stuff's at. In this pocket, oh, this was just junk mail, of a reminder sign that I decided I'd keep. And most everything I backed with, I found things that had white backed cardstock. Most of it's pretty thin. One I used olive was from some Martha Stewart paper, and the back of it was totally white. It was a great big sheet. And then I also had a couple of those real thin ones that comes like in your shirts when you buy a man's shirt, and it'll have that little piece of cardstock inside. And that's what I used to back my items with. Stamping, extra page. Here we got a tag. This is packaging from something. I know I got it at Michael's, but I'm not real sure I remember what was in it. But I have several of those, and I just cut one of those in half and used it to make a pocket. My tag, it has part of the pillowcase for my linen. This was off of the lay, my jewelry, and this is a napkin that has been decoupaged on just a homemade tag. I just cut a tag shape out of the, and this, see there, it's pretty thin. This is out of that cardstock that came in the shirt. This is another piece of cardstock. Looks like it's something different though. It was white bag. Napkin has been decoupaged on, and then I have the bottom of a piece of paper. I found a spot big enough to get a clear stamp, and I've stamped this on. Oh, I did use an extra thing. I used my computer to put the black writing on this little prescription pad stamp. And here we just have some, I think this was off of a cereal box, actually. My belly band was made out of some kind of packaging and pieces of my magazine. This was, I think, part of the calendar that I backed on that paper. Most of it you can't, like this one, you can't see through. Most of my stuff, it came out really good. You can't see through it. Stamping, extra journal page, more stamping up here. All the pockets have something in them, even if it's just an old card. This was a card that had been, it was used, so I took part of it, just part of it, the picture, and then I added a sentiment off of a different card to come up with this journaling card for that pocket. And this pocket has another one of those candy boxes that had the hole in it, and of course the candy, you got chocolate, and this is in the shape of praying hands. And I put a clear sheet of acetate in there, and which was off of packaging. And then it's got Bible page on the inside, and what you're looking at is actually the Lord's Prayer. And I absolutely love those. There is a place to write on the back of this card. I used the rest of that box for something else. This was off a no calendar page. I just decoupaged it up there. This was part of my gift bag. This is part of the gift bag. And it gives you a place to journal, and it still leaves you with all this to write on. I like the fact that it has a lot of places to write. Gift bag, this, because this actually kind of comes around the corner. It's all one piece. More stamping. Another calendar. This is just a card, and the cards that I used were either used, and I have no idea where they came from, because some of them weren't even to me. People give me used cards all the time. Or, like this one's from the Alzheimer's Association, It's the freebies they give you when they're trying to get you to donate. I've used some of those. A lot of my cards are from Paralyzed Veterans of America. And this one's like from the Grand Encampment of Knights Templar. But I thought the pink flowers were pretty. Calendar page, stamping, more packaging. Um, I think this was packaging of some kind. It's pretty thick. And I started not to use it because it was so thick. But I did some stamping on here, and then I took my ink pads and very carefully only colored pieces to get my green and pink up here, and then I went back with my ink pen. The ink pen I chose has all these different colors on it, and I did pink and purple up here and brown on my handle using my ink pen. That was the one thing I missed out of this one, was a way to add color, like coloring pencils or watercolors or something. This was an old card that was my mother's. This one, it's one of those cards from the Paralyzed Veterans. And even though it's got a little girl in it, I thought the colors match. This is stenciling, and there's stenciling several places in the book. Stamping. This is fussy cut out of some junk mail. And this was fussy cut out of some junk mail and just put on a little piece of cardboard for a tag here. And then there's a little tag here. This was fussy cut off of one of my birthday cards, or birthday invitations. The envelope that it's in was off the birthday invitation. And this was a paint chip. This was cut out of junk mail, and this was some stamping, and it's just been backed with white so that you can write on it. Stamping. These are cards that I made these little ticket shapes out of. This is my one of my envelopes that we were required to make. I did a double tote with an insert over here, flip with an insert. And I created this out of a card front. Stamping. Another card. This one's like another one of those cards from Alzheimer's. This is my fabric, one of my fabric items. It's a fabric pocket out of the band of the pillowcase I used. Some stamping up here. This was a postcard from American Printing House for the Blind. Another one of those freebies. This was out of junk mail. I liked what it said. It was an advertisement trying to get you to buy books. This was cut off of a used card. This is a tag that came from my slipper. This was off of the pillowcase. And this was more junk mail that I cut this little saying out of with the picture. Stamping. My envelope, my security envelope. And it was from TBN, Trinity Broadcasting Network, from years ago, and it has my favorite Bible verse on it, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and a future. Love that envelope. And so that's what I used for my security envelope. And then on this side we have a picture off of some junk mail, and then I did some stamping here. This was cut out of junk mail. This was a flyer from the library that I had used in another one of my things. This is packaging that I backed with a pink. It was envelope from one of these birthday cards or something. So, but I like it. I covered up the writing on the packaging with on the front with this, which is more packaging. I think it was a tag off of something. This was cut out of junk mail, more of the envelope, and this was set in junk mail. Things that it just was extra writing space from Mary Kay. This was the tag off of my gift bag, and it does open, and then this is off of my pillowcase. There's more stamping, more packaging down here. Magazine for the belly band. This is one of my envelopes that we had to do 3 things with. You have, and I just took a page, did some stamping on it, folded it up, and that is my inside. There's some stamping right there. The lighting is horrible here. I wish I could give you some lights. I don't have enough windows, and it either be dark or really bright light, and it's not either right now. The front this is one of those faux front envelopes, and I used the gift bag on the front of it. Made a little tab here. There's 2 pockets. These are bits of a calendar page. This was stamped onto a piece of, I think, the card stuff that was in the shirt paper. Got some stamping back here. Oh no, excuse me, that is stenciling, not stamping, and there is a difference. I did use some washi tape, which we were allowed to use tape, and I didn't say that I used washi tape, but I did. This was cut out of a used card. This is the first time I have done a faux front envelope. The first one was a disaster. I will tell you, this was number 2. First one was a disaster. Stamping. I have learned from this month. Stamping up here. Another calendar page spread. This was a card from Paralyzed Veterans. This one is from Alzheimer's. More stamping. This is a napkin that I decoupaged onto the actual page. This is a pocket that I made off of a piece of cardboard that the bird came off of a napkin onto the cardboard, and then I took the cardboard and made a pocket out of it. We got some stamping up here. I stamped these little tickets that are from Romans 10:9, admit one, and it's the actual verse in here. And then I made this out of calendar page stuck on some junk mail. And then this was off, the little picture on it came off the junk mail that somebody gave me. I did 2 collage pages, or Franken pages, whatever you want to call them. And on here I used book pages, magazine parts, pieces off of my birthday invitation, the envelope that come in, calendar pages, doily that was wrapped around my birthday card. This was the card that was actually in there. These came off of my gift bag. Paint chips. I think I covered it all. Another calendar spread. More of the same. I did do some stamping here. Another plain journal page, more stamping. Another card, that one's from the Paralyzed Veterans. This one, these are the envelopes that I used. I have found a whole box of these at the Goodwill, and I love them because they're pink. My favorite color is pink. And I got them for $49.59, so I picked them up. Stamping. This was off of one of those candy boxes. the Easter candy boxes. More stamping, candy box. This came off of the lay. This is part of my pillowcase, and I made a fabric flip out of it. Junk mail, different junk mail, bags on white. I made a pocket out of this. Just another envelope. Oh, and in this one, here is my mini challenge in the challenge 3. We had to use at least 3 envelopes to make a trifold kind of thing. So I have a pocket. Here, let's use this. This tells about the calendar that I use. This one, it's the National Children's Cancer Society. And it was a freebie where they're trying to get money. But anyhow, I use paint chip to make a tuck spot here, and we have a tuck spot here. And then at the top, I put 2 envelopes together, so you got a tuck here. And do I have something in it? Oh, I do. Just paint chip down inside. And my paint chips were all in various colors of pink, my favorite color. I can't get that straight. I'll do it later. Here we have a double tuck. And here we have a double tuck. And another tuck spot here. So on this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tuck spots. So that is my mini challenge in the challenge envelope thing. And then we also had to make a envelope out of a calendar page, or part of a calendar page. And this is my envelope out of a calendar, and I love how it turned out. And this is just packaging that more of the calendar page to cover it up. And the back of this packaging was pink with some calendar on the inside. And I'm going to put that in here. More just junk paper. Another collage or Franken page with some stamping on it. I think I used the same things on all of them. Pieces of the birthday invitation paint chips, the bag, magazine cover or magazine, pictures, calendar, book pages, a little bit of all the papers that I used. We got more stenciling here, and another card that was made out of one of those candy boxes. Another one made out of the candy box. It's got "May God grant you always" on that side, and then "What we wish for God to grant you" on this side in a poem form. And some more stenciling, and that would be my journal for this month. I'm still going to have some mini challenges that I have to do, but I love my journal. And once I got started and picked colors and my theme, it went really well. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Julie, for doing the challenges. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.